know that it's called the bionic, the bomb, the puff, the blow, the black, the herb, the sensi, the chronic, the sweet Mary Jane, ganja, spliff, reefer, the bad, the Buddha, the homegrown, the ill, the Maui Maui, the method, pop, lethal, turbo, Thai, shake, skunk, stress, wacky, weed, blaze, the boot, dime bag, Scooby-Doo, Bob, bogey, backyard boogie.
Yeah! It's the Golden Irving Show! That's yes.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live on Adobe Radio.
Yes.
We are live on Election Eve on Adobe Radio. In 2024. Find us all over the places. Hopefully you have found us by now, but if you haven't, you can find us on Adobe Radio. You can go to Instagram, Cool Nerd Weed Show, Twitter, Cool Nerd Weed, and YouTube's. We're all over the videos. Do you feel out of sorts because that's not your usual spot?
Yeah, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, I like it too, actually.
Can we move the backdrop over here?
Yeah, the whole Adobe Radio thing. Yeah,
thing.
we can. You're framed pretty good. You look great.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
everything
you.
looks good. I'm very little today. I'm very low to the ground. I feel like I'm in high school. But it's because I'm small. It's because I'm a small person.
Like typing class, middle school typing class.
No, I feel like when like a middle school person does like a production of their like school
Oklahoma.
Yeah, their school media. No, their school like news team.
Oh, the video news, like kids news.
Yeah, like a Tiger Beat or so or whatever. Like we're delivering like the volleyball team won regional fucking national titles or whatever. That's how I feel. But I do feel very newsish because things are pretty historical right now. And it is election eve right now. And tomorrow is the election. And it's a big one. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes, if you haven't heard, tomorrow is election day, and we are voting
talked about it.
for the president of these United States.
Yeah.
It's Kamala Harris versus Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
FYI, we're I'm personally, I have my anxiety is crazy out of control right now.
Yeah, it is. It's very tensions are high. Certainly, the doom scroll is real. I feel like we're all pretty nervous. It's really nerve-wracking, like what is happening, and I'm hoping like history looks back on this fondly and kindly and says, oh cool, this society went in the right direction and not, oh no, they've fucked it up again. But we will be here again tomorrow with It's News to Us and Fish and special guests from all over the Adobe Radio land. We will all be together.
And mood killers.
And I said fish already. Okay, I had edibles. Here's what I'm doing. You want to talk about anxiety? Like, okay, so it's just been crazy. So I really have been just all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I've taken 50 milligrams. Like, because I'm just like, anytime I feel some sort of like overwhelming dread, I don't want to feel that way. We were talking before the show and we were just like, we just don't want to feel that way. We're just like so over this. The dreads and the worries. We're worried we're going to cry a lot tomorrow. So, I mean, not like Eddie and Fish, like they're probably going to be like chill and like totally cool. But
yeah,
TS and I are going to blubber.
We're like
straight up cry tears.
We're legit emo.
Yeah, like we're emotional. we're emo in every sense of the word, and we cry tears like all the time.
Of joy.
We could do it right now.
And pain.
Yeah, of joy and pain. We do. Literally. We really do. We're a couple emotional folks. My husband's always like, "What are you crying about?" And I'm like, "That song, and I like the song, like all the time." Like so, yeah. We will probably cry tomorrow, but we're hoping because, I mean, personally, I was trying to think of like good things, and I was like, there is a chance that we could say, I mean, just even the fact that like states are voting on Kamala Harris, who's like a woman of color, like that's a huge deal. It's the first time in, like we will never have experienced this moment similar to this again. It's pretty historical just in that way. And if she wins, we'll be able to be people who say,
yeah, we are going to
theory.
make history. We're going to make history tomorrow.
yes, that. So whatever happens around that, we don't know. The world is crazy. The world is crazy. And also, I don't want to sow like, what do you call it? Like distrust in anything, but I do want to make sure that we want to make sure that like your rights and stuff tomorrow, because we're not talking about like fraudulent whatever the fuck Donald Trump is always talking about. Like, we're talking about actual voter suppression that does exist. There are things that are very unfair in many states, and in also states that you wouldn't expect there to be voter suppression in. So things like this, it's good to know what to do. It's good to have a plan if you haven't voted already. If you vote already, then you're chilling. But if you're going to a place to vote tomorrow, we're going to like run down from the ACLU of just kind of things to do, like a checklist of things. If this is your first time voting, or you are worried that it'll be difficult for you to vote, we've got you.
See, some states will allow you to register to vote up until tomorrow.
Yes.
So if you're in one of those states and you're still undecided and you haven't registered to vote, then it is not too late. But a lot of states have cutoffs. So if you are already registered before you go to the polls, and this is actually according to the ACLU, a very reputable source. First of all, you should, if you have a government issued ID, you should bring it. Now, it's not officially required in all states.
Right.
But it's best if you have it.
Yeah.
Some are very strict that you need an ID that is not expired, up to date.
For sure.
So bring your ID.
Yeah, just as like kind of a base, that's a good place to start of what to bring. I have been asked for my ID before in random places that I've voted and lived. So, and I don't think they would have like turned me away if I didn't have it, but I have been asked for it. So, I don't know, not here, not in California.
No, I feel like they've asked for ID so they can be on the register.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just adult because they use like those, big friggin' books from
big
like,
ass book
from 1700s.
But things are streamlined now.
Yeah, it's
so,
much better.
If you are here's like if you are voting in person tomorrow. So if you are you're in line and the lines are long, stay in line, because if you are in line, you have the right to vote. They have to take you. If you've been waiting in this line, even though the polls say they're going to close, they will and legally have to take you.
Yes, you should know that. You can always ask for another ballot if you fuck up, which I've fucked up. I always fuck up. Forms are difficult.
They have tons of them.
Yeah.
You can ask for another. If you make a mistake, you vote for the wrong person or you say no when you meant yes on a proposition, then it's okay.
Yeah. And look, also, I saw this on TikTok today. It was like, and for those of us who are compulsive, just check it a few times. After that, you're good. You did it. You did all of the. You voted for all the things. You did the ones that you wanted to do, and you are good to go. It's okay. You don't have to obsess over it.
And it's okay to bring your voter guide in. You could
I need it.
circle. You could circle your answers.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a little cheat sheet.
Yeah, totes. Go ahead.
Oh, if the machines are down, I think some people are voting electronically on a machine. Some are old school punch cards.
Yeah.
But if any of those machines are down, you can and should ask for a paper ticket,
Yeah, for sure.
a paper ballot,
Yeah.
and they will provide them, and your vote will be counted.
Yeah, they have plans for that. They have backup plans for that. And the ACLU has a number. We'll link it on maybe our last post on Instagram. The ACLU has a bunch of hotline numbers to call in a lot of different languages. So don't feel like you if you're listening to the show, unless you have a translator, I'm assuming you know English. But if you have a family member that is voting who doesn't know English or is comfortable in a different language, they have a lot of different languages here. So use their resources and call those numbers if you have any questions. And if you also feel weird, if something's making you feel unsafe, there was like a bunch of weird shit happening today at random places. Just call it out, because there's no time for this. This is like stupid. This is like the one thing that this freaking country was founded on. So let's just all make sure that we're treating each other okay. And if you see somebody who's not treating somebody okay, or you, feel free to call these numbers. You are protected. You are protected. This happens a lot. Like this next thing, it's happened to me a bunch.
Yeah, this has definitely happened to me. You know, there's a lot of places where you can poll, and when they send you, if you go old school, and they just tell you where it is, it's usually like at a school or a senior citizen home or a rec center, someplace where they can set up ballots, and you know, there's a lot of them, but you are registered to a specific one in the old school voting system. So let's say you're at work and you're not near your polling place. You can ask for a provisional ballot. It's a paper ballot. You put your name on.
Yeah.
And you can vote that way at any polling place.
Yes, you can. They just like make sure that you're.
They will give you a receipt with a ticket and a number, and you can actually do it all online or call the 800 number and see if your vote was counted. And if you're registered to vote, your vote will be counted.
And so that's very easy to do. But if you think you're in the right place, and this has happened to me, you kind of just have to have a back and forth with the poll worker. It's not their fault. It's really not. Like, they are actually doing like a civic duty or like a huge public service by being there. And
they're basically,
you should be nice to them.
Absolutely. They're basically volunteers.
They are. And they're just doing it for the good of democracy. So they're having a long day too. Just be nice to them. It's not their fault that your name's not there. So work with them. Spell your name out if you have to. If you have your ID, show them your ID. Great time to put that ID into use.
They are there to help you vote.
Yeah.
And they want to help you vote.
And they do. They do. They want this to be as seamless as possible. They don't want to freaking be doing late night recounts and shit. They want this to go well. So yeah, work with your poll worker. You can ask if there was like a supplemental list of voters. That's kind of like the backup if they can't find your name. That's actually where they found me once, I think. But I didn't know to ask that. I think somebody just like looked at this other list and they were like, "Oh, you're on the supplement." I was like, "Okay." So I got to vote, but they may not find your name there, and then you may not be in the right place, and then you can do a provisional probably, but you probably got to get back online. I don't know how it would like work, but you could probably do a provisional ballot, right?
Yeah, always ask for that provisional ballot. No matter
what,
you're good. You
Don't be nervous about it. I would be,
Yeah.
because that would like make me lose. I used to like melt down when this would happen, and it's like, okay, it's okay. They're going to figure it out for you.
Also, people are there to help you verify your proper polling place.
That too. Yeah, they'll look it up for you. They'll find it for you, usually, and they can call. They can call like the headquarters, the HQs. They're like,
Give me HQ.
Give me the HQ. Get me voting HQ. Who is this person? If you have a disability, there are. I mean, I know in the places I've always voted, it's always been accessible. So there are people there that can help you, that can read the ballot to you. There are people, while you still have privacy, there's a lot of things that they can do to help you. They've actually, the Americans with Disabilities Act helped make that possible.
Yeah, you
So
have
feel comfortable.
You have accessibility. If you need a ballot in Braille, they've got you covered.
They do. They do. Yeah, there's an option. There's a lot of options for you. So definitely don't feel like it would be difficult, because there are people on hand to help you. And that if you feel that you're not being accommodated, they will fix it. They'll definitely fix it. So know your rights. And a voter with a mental disability cannot be turned away from the polls because the poll worker thinks they are not qualified to vote. So know your rights. You have a right to vote. Just as much of a voice as everybody else. Imagine that. Treating everybody equally.
Oh, what?
Like they matter. Listening to everybody's voice.
What a concept.
Oh.
Sasha for president.
Yeah. Okay, so you can bring someone, you can bring a homie. They can't work. You can't work for them. You can't bring like your boss, I guess. But you can bring somebody to help if you need. But you like let everybody know that's you just need
That's
some,
what's going on.
Yeah, you need some
You need a little
assistance.
assistance. And you trust this person
Yeah.
with your ballot.
Yeah, it's like yeah. Always communicate as much as you can. Always communicate if you are uncomfortable standing in line, or like if it's too much, just tell a poll worker, tell an election official, and they'll get you. They got you. They'll call you up. They'll make accommodations. You'll be okay. And there's also a number you can call if you feel you haven't been treated right. There are lawyers who can help you. So there's resources there too.
Yes, in case there's any sort of fuckery at the polls, which there shouldn't be, because the poll workers are there to help you out.
Right.
But the ACLU is there to help you out too.
You can't be intimidated. Your right to vote cannot be interfered with.
Absolutely. That falls under fuckery.
Yeah, that certainly falls under fuckery. When you said that, that's what I thought of. Is if some fuckery is going on, your right to vote is your right to vote, and any intimidations won't be tolerated. So you can just again talk to your poll worker. But if you feel like it's like, because there are people like impersonating poll workers, like whatever, like if you feel like you just want to get in and out, like you just want to go, you want to vote, get the fuck out of there, there's a number to call. There's quite a few numbers to call from the ACLU, and they will look into that shit, because that they don't fucks around really with
voter suppression.
As you've seen. Yeah, I mean, if it's happening. Now, I will say, like, it's, like, again, it's in places that you'd expect, it's in places that you don't. So.
No, it's, but it's good. You have to know your rights, and we have to.
No, I know.
We have to get out there and do our part, our civic duty. And sometimes it's difficult. The powers that be want to make it difficult for you, but we can't let them. You have to push on, make sure your vote is counted and your voice is heard.
Yeah, have a plan. Have a plan. If there's long lines and you need a snack, bring a snack. You know what I mean?
How do you think it's going to actually be tomorrow? Like, is there going to be long lines of like last minute voters, or are people embracing like a modern system of like in California, every single person got a mail in, or you can return your ballot on the day of right to a drop box at a polling location?
I don't know that a lot of states are doing that though. Like, I know that in New Jersey, you can opt in for mail-in, and now you can do it more. So since the pandemic and stuff, but like, if you wanted to early vote, you could early vote.
But you still.
But
had
a lot
to
of people I think are going to polls.
show up tomorrow.
And I saw like
on election.
Yeah, like some people want to make sure that their vote is counted, not saying that like things are tampered with, but again, intimidation and suppression does exist. And we're not talking about the things that Donald Trump is talking about. We're talking about the bad guys and corrupt shit, like voter suppression in many states. Is fucking Larry David did a whole season of television on it last. Curb Your Enthusiasm was about voter suppression in Georgia and how fucking ridiculous it is, and the gerrymandering, and
those things are real, and voter suppression is real, but the actual amount of voter fraud was minuscule.
It's like, not even notable.
It's not. It's like a speck, and you know it never has been enough to sway an election. No.
So again, have that like under your belt. Know that if you're showing up to vote, that you're doing something amazing, and like you hear stories of people who will walk miles and miles and miles to their polling place to vote because they wanted their voice to be counted. Like if that's what has to happen tomorrow, I hate it. I hate that like is more difficult for some people than others. I hate that voter intimidation happens to people who live in certain communities. I hate that it happens at all, and that we have to talk about this. But I also am glad that we have resources, and we are a resource that can help you know that like you should feel confident that the system is here for you and that your voice is going to be heard tomorrow.
If I thought this was pretty amazing that tomorrow in LA that all of public transportation is free.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
do they do that in New York too? Maybe they do. Maybe they do.
Maybe.
I always think people get off of work, but they don't. Like, you can just leave work early because you could vote. Even though
they're supposed
I had
to
a mail-in ballot, but I'm still going to leave work early.
They're like, didn't you talk about for like 2 episodes how you mailed it in? I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I get 2.
You're like, I got to go vote.
The law says I get 2 hours. The lines were long. Just come back.
Oh, man.
Come back. Oh, looking all lit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for realsies. It's definitely very, very important that if you haven't voted, you go out and vote tomorrow. We mean it. It's very, very nerve-wracking. So we just wanted to maybe calm some nerves a little bit by letting you know that even if it's difficult, you going out there and voting is pretty cool and pretty admirable. And like it always does feel like pretty good to be able to vote. Now, I'd like to remind you that Donald Trump said, what did he say? We'll make it so you don't have to do that anymore.
Oh, yeah, this will be your last time. You won't have to do it anymore.
I mean, like, I know some people say that that's rhetoric, but that sounds like he's telling us pretty straightforward what he's planning on doing.
That is fucking rhetoric.
It's like rhetoric of fact.
Like he's saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, and that's always how it's been. And there's a lot of things that have been said and will be said about Donald Trump and a potential second term for him. But this part of the show is just letting you know that whatever you're doing tomorrow, you have the right to vote and you have the right to be heard, and your voice does matter. And if you haven't voted in a while or you haven't voted yet, it's pretty important to vote this election. And we politely suggest that you vote for Vice President Kamala Harris so that you get the chance to do it again.
Well, yes, the nerds have officially endorsed Kamala
We're not
Harris.
surrogates, but we have. So that's our suggestion, just so that you can continue to live in a free world. But you know, that commercial where it's like the women are like nodding at each other and they're like going into the ballot box after they were just talking to their like super MAGA husbands or whatever, and they're like, we're not voting for Donald Trump or whatever. And they're
there's like the group of alpha males with their MAGA hats on. And the one guy's holding his daughter and he like thinks for a second about his daughter's future. And
like,
then they're like, yeah, you ready to MAGA? He's like, he nods, but he's got his daughter on his shoulders. He's like, okay. Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that.
And it's true. It's silly, but it's true. Nobody knows what you're voting in there. That's the whole point. So just make sure you know you have rights and that you are going in there with confidence and with a clear head tomorrow, because it'll feel really nice after you vote. And we're going to talk about like strains you can smoke to chill out later on in the show after we get through the rest of all the other politics bullshit. But just when you get home from work, fucking eat some dinner, play video games or read, take an edible and go to bed. Or listen to Adobe Radio like while you're in bed reading. And that's it. Don't do anything else. Use your phone to listen to Adobe Radio, not scroll on TikTok. That's my suggestion.
That's a great PSA.
Because, yeah, we'll get to all that stuff. Do you have any more to say about your rights of voting?
We've covered it thoroughly. So know your rights.
Know your rights. Know your rights. Where's my burrito? But you definitely tomorrow, if there's any day to listen to us say that, because we do say that a lot, tomorrow is that day. Because you have them. No matter where you're from, no matter what language you speak, and no matter who you are, you have the right to vote. Just be safe. Please. Please. That's all I ask is you have a plan. Tell people where you're going to vote, where you're going to be, and stuff like that. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about... I'm so sick of this election. We're going to talk about... what the fuck are we going to talk about? Oh, the
Massachusetts.
Yeah, this is fun. We're going to talk about all the states that have weed on the ballot yet again. So you're going to hear us bitch about Florida. Trigger warning. But we're also going to talk about some fun stuff like Massachusetts, which we never got to. So we're going to start with Massachusetts, and I'm going to take a commercial break.
We salute you, the United States of cannabis, under all 50 strains, one pre-roll, under bong.
The Cool Nerd Weed Show on Adobe Radio.
Yeah. We're back.
And we're back.
It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's Jess.
And that's Sasha.
We're live on Adobe Radio on election night eve. I was saying all day, I was like, leave milk and cookies out for democracy. We will be here tomorrow with It's News to Us and Mood Killers and Fish and other homies all over the Adobe Radio land. We will be here live calling the election, but also being a place for you to go when your nerves are too much to handles and you just want to chill with like the coolest people in the world. We're awesome. And we're hilarious. And we will also be very anxious. So it'll be nice to have some friends join us. We have so much weed for tomorrow. Like, we have
so there
so
is.
much.
I'm about to start rolling it up for tomorrow. We're gonna roll some backwoods.
Yes.
We're gonna need. I think we're gonna need a lot.
Well,
we
yeah.
have a lot.
Yeah, we'll be. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you, Big Pharma.
Yeah. Big ups, Big Pharma, for sponsoring tomorrow's tomorrow's election sesh. But it will be really nice to be with some peeps that I love. That's also something that I would suggest for you tomorrow. I did that a couple of times, a couple elections. I just had like a couple local homies come over and I made dinner and we drank a lot.
There was there was like articles that came out of like how we missed like hanging out in 2020 and
Yeah.
doing that sort of thing.
Totally.
And how
Totally.
we can get back to it.
We
hanging out.
can, for the most part. We
And
can. So
you're
if
probably
doing
going to
that
need
tomorrow, you should.
some support around you.
Yeah, for sure. And if also like, you know, if you're at the stage in your life or whatever that you just want to like rot or veg, definitely do. But I do recommend not scrolling tomorrow. Like I think my husband, who's going to be alone, I think, is going to be like just playing video games and stuff. So like I honestly do feel like go to sleep or something. If you have edibles, go to sleep. Or like honestly, listen to Adobe Radio, clean your room, like read, play something.
I think we're going to be live video as well. You can watch us.
Oh, are we?
I think so.
Oh, cool. Well, oh yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's sick. You can definitely hang out with us all night long. We are going to be good company, if I do say so myself. I'm very glad that we're going to be together. I think it's going to be fun and we're going to be silly. And we will be drinking and playing some sort of smoking game. I think we our loose plan was to like the states that had weed on the ballot when they were like called or something, we were gonna do dabs, but I was like, I don't know, that doesn't really make any sense because who knows when like North Dakota is gonna be like called, I don't know. We have to suss it out. Either way, we're gonna be smoking a lot of weed tomorrow, and there are a bunch of states where weed is on the ballot, so we're trying to. I mean, we're gonna talk about this tomorrow too, obviously, but we're trying to play games. We're trying to get stoned as fuck tomorrow somehow. Also,
one way
is what
or
I'm saying.
another, and there will be a theme and
Yeah.
probably some questions.
Yeah. Yeah. But we're working on that. So, just to begin, let's talk about
Psychedelics.
psychedelics. And I got it.
Incense, peppermint,
Peppermint. Incense.
the rainy day mushroom pillow. So,
Okay, so
Massachusetts might get a lot trippier after this election. If you answer yes to question 4 in Massachusetts, that would legalize psychedelics for. It would legalize psychedelics for adults 21 and up, as well as tax them and create an advisory
board. Ooh, I want to be on that advisory board.
yes.
My in-laws live in Massachusetts. Basically, I'm a resident. So, oh my God, I could not be farther from. But I would be. We could. TS and I can be on the advisory board if you'd like.
I would love to advise this advisory board.
I would love to be on the board of advisors for this advisory board. And because we have advice about
We do.
psychedelics. But this is super cool. So
It is.
this is like on the ballot. They're voting for this.
Yeah.
Psychedelics legalization.
You could.
Wow.
You can grow any plant, fungus, or prepare any anything containing DMT, mescaline, aubergine. I looked at that word earlier.
What is it?
Aubergine.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Psilocybin. Oh, it's an African root.
Oh.
I apologize for my mispronunciation of it, but it is an African root.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
I've never seen it
Wow,
anywhere.
you could just grow this stuff now.
Yeah, you
huh?
can just grow it. You can
Legally.
possess up to 1 gram of DMT, 18 grams of mescaline, 30 grams of this African root, a gram of psilocybin, and 1 gram of psilocin.
Well, it looks like it's not on a great track.
No, it doesn't have very much support. What's it's like about 40,
It's like 42%.
42%.
Oh man,
But these bills keep coming up, and
that's. I mean, that's not that. It's higher than I thought.
actually, like, I wouldn't think that it would get a lot of support in Massachusetts. for
No,
one
I'm
reason
surprised
or
it's even
another.
like there. I'm surprised it's happening at all in Massachusetts. Like Massachusetts has its things to work out in terms of legalization and regulation in the drug sphere, but I don't know. I can kind of see it. There's a lot of like medical places there, so maybe they want to study it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, like Harvard.
Yeah, that place. Have it.
Harvard.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, Timothy Leary.
Yeah, that guy.
Let's
He
one
loves
of
that
the
shit.
modern,
Yeah.
the godfather of LSD.
I'm sure there's a modern day Timothy Leary that exists, and maybe he's from Massachusetts. But yeah, I can kind of see it, but also I was surprised that it was Massachusetts that we were talking about. That it's actually on the ballot. It's not just some pie in the sky. So I don't know. That'd be fun, but it's fine if that's not on the top of your mind in Massachusetts.
But maybe you want this. Get out there and vote yes.
I like it. I
You
like
can
it.
grow your own.
I think that's number one. I think having a nice advisory board is good. I think it's really important to start studying psychedelics for mental health. We're doing it like off the books, So like, people are getting ketamine treatments. You know?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
it's,
like,
very progressive.
yeah, mushrooms are being studied more and more every day for depression and whatnot.
These
so,
are.
this might be something we want to look at in the future.
Absolutely. I don't know if this is the right time, a particular bill to pass here.
Yeah,
Let's throw some cons out at you. There is no criminal justice reform, so let's
Yeah,
say
that's whack.
that's whack as fuck. There is no social equity provision,
Yeah, we don't like that.
and there's no employment protection.
Come on.
I don't know if they can test you for shrooms like after, but you're not protected as an employee. And here's the positive. You can grow them at home.
There's a lot wrong with that. Yeah, we're not quite ready there. But I like the idea. But
it's just one of those. It's a question, so it can be tweaked.
right,
if it
which
does
is
pass,
important
but,
to note. So yeah,
it's
vote with
probably-
your heart on this. If
Doesn't look like it has much support.
no, and so like our listeners, like dear listener, if you are in Massachusetts, maybe this isn't no, but just know that that's promising, that it's even there. You got to work on your weed shit first too. So speaking of that, Florida, we have about like 6 minutes to talk about Florida, real quick, and then I just want to run down the list of places where weed is. But we do have to spend a second on Florida because it's getting all sorts of attention. So Amendment 3 is on the ballot. This is a big deal because it is set in stone. Once you vote for this, it goes into the Constitution of the state and cannot be fucked with. We have mentioned our problems with it, which are plenty. They were basically all the things you just named about the problems with.
Yeah, there's Florida Amendment 3. There's no criminal justice reform. There's no social equity. There's no employment protection, and there's no home grow. And it also, this is not even on the list, but you have no protection as a consumer.
No, if you get mold poisoning from some weed or you get an expired edible or something, sorry, bro. You're not protected. And just so you know for sure you're not protected, it's a big corporation that's going to be giving you your weed. And you know that they don't protect people. And they certainly don't protect people who need it for medicine. So it's an icky bill. It sucks butts. The thing that is confusing is that Ron DeSantis also doesn't like this bill. And he's using the things that we're saying I mean, not us personally, but like the things that people who are saying the same things that we are, he's using that as like a guise. He's like, yeah, and then the small businesses, there's no competition for the small businesses. And so he's running ads basically saying what we're saying. With this one thing, you can, he's right. But obviously, he doesn't believe these things. It's all ulterior motive. It's all for another reason. He doesn't give a shit about your small business because he was all about Trulieve for a little while. And
Yeah, absolutely.
a deal must have went bad. He also gets a ton of money from hemp
From the-
organizations.
Yeah, it's a sidebar.
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis gets money from the THCA and the hemp market that is sort of thriving
Right, in
now.
all your gas stations. So
and those products are not tested. And
They're not regulated.
Many of them are testing positive for pesticides.
right. And that's his biz. And we did a whole episode on this. So he likes that. He doesn't like legal weed. So he's making pretend that he cares about this shit. But if you can't square that circle, because like we watched an ad today and I was like, yeah, bro, like I'm glad these ads are running in Florida. Like that's actually the message I want to get out. And then I realized after reading an article that, oh no, that was probably paid for by Ron DeSantis because he's vocally speaking out against this bill. We don't like it either, but just know that our politics with Ron DeSantis will never align ever, and they don't. And I don't even like saying his name too many times because it makes me physically ill. They're just gross. It's a gross sounding name for a gross sounding person. But if you can't square that circle, just look at it like that. Just look at it like he's actually accidentally doing the right thing here. Like he doesn't mean to, but this bill sucks. And
Amendment 3 is terrible.
It's butts.
It's terribly written. It's not good for anybody except Trulieve.
Trulieve. Probably Donald Trump. And that sucks ass for weed because this is not the way weed was intended to be shared and consumed. And if you get this voted in, it's in. Similarly, abortion rights are also on the ballot. I would make sure you vote in Florida on your rights to your body. And it's very, very, very important because that goes into law too and cannot be fucked with. That's the states' rights that people are talking about. So please, if you want the right to your body and to choose, please go and vote tomorrow. But yes, that is that. And Amendment 3 sucks butts. If you don't vote for it, there's a chance that it might get better. And other people can get in the market and in the game down there. So we're just putting it out there. Okay, real quick. Who else has weed on the ballot?
North Dakota.
South Dakota.
South Dakota. Nebraska has medical
Yes.
cannabis on the bill. Texas has decriminalization.
Yes.
And locally in several cities.
Yeah, and there's other states have some weed stuff on it. Like I think Massachusetts does and Oregon does some weed just some weed biz things.
Yeah, Oregon is regarding cannabis workers unionizing.
Yes. So cool stuff. We'll talk about that tomorrow too during the show, and we have a bunch of shows on it. But Leafly has a good article too if you need the links to know what the particulars are there. Okay, we're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna come back and talk about how to relax.
I'm just trying to relax.
I just want to relax.
The final Huff and Puff with TS and Sasha.
It's the final Huff and Puff. I'm coughing, but I didn't smoke any weed, I swear. I would never smoke in the studio. I'm just randomly coughing because it's very dry in California. So it's the final Huff and Puff. We are trying to give you some suggestions of strains that we know will relax you. So if you're just planning on listening to Adobe all night long tomorrow night, to the It's News to Us Cool Nerd Weed Show co-broadcast with Mood Killers, Fish and Friends. Panic at the POTUS. Panic for the POTUS. I keep forgetting to call it that. Panic for the POTUS. Such a brilliant name. And that is going to be happening. That is where you can go to chill while you're doing that, you can take a bath and roll up one of these strains. Go to your local dispense and try to find one of these for yourself. What are we going with? I don't even know.
I'm going to have the first one
Okay.
for relaxation and flavor. Obama Runs.
Oh, nice. Obama Runs. Yes, I remember the Obama Runs. If you can find them, yeah.
It's allegedly it's a Runts varietal from Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. I always forget the
So-
Obama lore.
That's the Obama part of the. It's I don't know. It's a Runts cut. Nice Runts cut.
Yeah, Runs is a pretty good. That's a pretty good option to always go with for some chill. That'll get you like giggly and relaxed and euphoric and stuff. That's a good thing to listen to while you listen to Panic for the POTUS.
Yeah, I looked up strains and those two things. It was like relaxing, giggly, and like stress reliever.
Yeah, that's what we're
So
gonna need
that's
tomorrow.
that's what we're gonna recommend for election eve.
Yes.
This is election eve.
No.
It's not.
Tomorrow's the election.
Oh my God! So this is the election eve.
Yeah, I've been saying that this whole time.
I got too many eves in there.
Yeah, that would have been yesterday.
Damn
And
it!
if you're listening to this after Tuesday, then this doesn't mean anything to you. Okay, what's the next one?
Old school. We're going old school again. Granddaddy Purple. You find
Oh,
yourself
yeah.
any Granddaddy. That is
Mm-hmm.
very relaxing, smooth, sweet, super chill.
Yeah, I like Granddaddy Purple a lot, and I always will. And it always does the trick. It's very, very relaxing, very chill, a really nice thing to smoke out of anything. Like, not just a joint. Like, it's nice to smoke out of a bong, nice giant rip of Granddaddy Purple. That'll feel really good.
What do you think of? You're probably going to need something sweet and some dessert.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Yeah.
maybe like an ice cream cake,
Yeah,
or
for sure.
or a wedding cake.
Any, like, pie / wedding cake
Oh yeah, a
/ ice
pie.
cream. Yeah,
Like
a pie.
a cherry pie.
If you can find any pie. Oh, man, I
a
like
cher-
cherry
an
pie
old
so much.
school cherry pie.
Oh, I love it so much. I could, and it's the best relaxing one. And especially like if you are in a group of people and you are just having like trying to have like a chill election night gathering, some cherry pie is really nice because people will be chilling. Like put on a movie and watch something funny and get mad snacks. That's like what a nice cherry pie will do for you. You will be chill as fuck. If you can find it, again. But variations of this will work as well.
Yeah, I probably most dessert strains.
Yeah. Ask your bartender for dessert strain. They'll
Dessert
have one.
strains. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, everybody does.
A gelato.
Yeah,
Any
gelato.
any number. Add the number of your favorite number.
Yeah,
for the gelato.
yeah. They'll have one or
they're-
two off of that. Just pick a number. What's the next one? Is there a next one?
Yeah, there's always a next
Okay.
one. I would go just the straight an OG.
Yeah, that's OGs are my
Some
favorite.
gas.
Yeah,
Get that.
but slight warning: some OGs can make people anxious.
This is
So
true.
just know if
This
you
is
like
true.
OGs.
Yeah.
That I don't know why.
mean,
It's just it's also
it's kind of the nature of
the nature of it.
strain.
If you don't react that way to them, like I don't, I'm always super chill when I smoke an OG. But yet, kind of like
They always,
like I could play a card game or something or a board game. Another suggestion for tomorrow. That like when I smoke an OG, but I'm super relaxed.
like an OG always makes me like go up. And
Yeah,
then I kinda
it's a
like,
ride.
And then I kind of like settle into like a
Yeah, I can
a
focus.
cool,
Mhm.
focused.
But some
chill
people
high.
might get anxiety because
Yeah,
I
you
have
know
smoked
that-
it with people who are like, "Nope, this is
They
for
don't
me."
they don't really like that roller coaster ride that we
Right.
like.
Right,
So
makes sense. So yeah, OG. If you want to kind of keep the rumble about the night, we have time for maybe one more quick.
one more, should we? Let's see, a new strain
Yeah,
that
let's-
we've had. Oh, one of your faves, the candy fumes.
Candy fumes, yeah.
What do you think-
Anything
what do you think
candy.
of that?
Yeah, anything. Yes, candy. Like anything gas and candy put together. Like look for that lineage. Look for those terps. That'll chill you right the fuck out. Okay, we're done. Thank you for hanging out with us. Get some sleep tonight. Things are gonna be fine. We're gonna see you tomorrow. Panic for the POTUS starts at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're all going to be together. It's Cool Nerd Week. It's news to us. All the Adobe Radio fans are joining us. You'll hang out. We will be okay. We are here for you. For any questions at all, DM us, Cool Nerd Week Show. And
Don't panic.
it's organic.